The car industry is ruthless. Brands rise, dominate for decades, and then disappear almost overnight. In today's world of electric vehicles, economic crises, and fierce competition, even legendary car companies are struggling to survive. Some are barely hanging on with one or two models. Others are bleeding money, dependent on foreign investors, or slowly fading into irrelevance. In this video, we'll look at 10 car brands that are in serious danger of going bankrupt or vanishing completely in the near future. Some of these names might surprise you, and others are probably already on your radar. Let's begin. Chrysler was once one of the big three automakers in America, a brand with icons like the 300 sedan, the PT Cruiser, and even the legendary Hemi engines. But today, Chrysler barely exists. The only model keeping the lights on is the Pacifica minivan, a vehicle that appeals to a shrinking family demographic. The Chrysler 300 was recently discontinued, leaving the brand with essentially one product. Under its parent company Stellantis, Chrysler has been pushed aside in favor of stronger names like Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. Stellantis has promised an all-electric Chrysler by 2025, but skeptics doubt whether a single EV can save the brand. Without major innovation or a miracle hit, Chrysler risks becoming another chapter in Detroit's long list of fallen giants. In the 1990s, Mitsubishi was cool. Cars like the Lancer Evolution and Eclipse were cult favorites among enthusiasts, appearing in Fast and Furious movies and dominating rally racing. But fast forward to today, and Mitsubishi has lost nearly all of that magic. The Evo is gone. The Eclipse name was recycled for a crossover nobody asked for, and most of their current lineup is outdated and uninspiring. Sales in North America have plummeted, and in markets like Europe, Mitsubishi has even pulled back. The brand survives mainly on a few SUVs in Asia, but its global presence is shrinking fast. Unless Mitsubishi finds a way to reinvent itself, maybe with affordable EV Viets, it risks fading into obscurity entirely. Lotus is one of those brands car enthusiasts love, but very few people actually buy. Known for lightweight, agile sports cars like the Elise and Exige, Lotus built a reputation on handling and performance rather than mass-market sales. But the problem is that niche sports cars don't sell in big numbers, and the market is moving toward EVs and SUVs. Lotus has been rescued by Chinese automaker Geely, which also owns Volvo, and they've launched the all-electric Evija hypercar and the Elitre SUV. While these cars are technologically impressive, they are also very expensive, and it's unclear whether they can bring enough volume to keep Lotus alive. Without steady demand, Lotus will remain dependent on its parent company's financial support, and if that dries up, so will the brand. Alfa Romeo is the eternal comeback story, and not in a good way. For decades, the brand has promised a revival, a return to glory, but every time it launches a new model, sales disappoint. The Giulia sedan and Stelvio SUV received critical praise, but reliability issues, limited marketing, and weak brand awareness outside Europe have kept numbers low. In the US, Alfa Romeo dealerships often sit empty, with very few buyers actually considering the brand. Stellantis, its parent company, has kept Alfa alive out of respect for its heritage. But at some point, heritage alone won't pay the bills. Unless Alfa can launch affordable, reliable EVs that appeal to a broader audience, it risks becoming yet another Italian legend that lives only in history books. Smart was once the quirky, futuristic brand that brought tiny city cars to Europe and the US. The 4.2 was a novelty, and for a while, it worked in urban areas where parking space was tight. But consumer demand shifted. People wanted SUVs, not microcars. Sales collapsed, and Smart almost disappeared entirely. Daimler eventually handed over control to Chinese company Geely, and now Smart is rebranding as an EV-only brand in China and Europe. Models like the Smart number 1 and number 3 show promise, but competition in the EV market is brutal. Without massive global demand, Smart could end up being little more than a footnote in Mercedes-Benz history. Once upon a time, Lancia was a motorsport legend, dominating rally racing and producing stylish, innovative cars like the Delta Integral. But today, Lancia sells exactly one model, the aging Ypsilon hatchback, and only in Italy. That's it. Outside of Italy, Lancia doesn't even exist anymore. Stellantis claims it wants to revive Lancia with electric models, but the brand has been neglected for so long that it's hard to imagine a successful comeback. For most people, Lancia is already a dead brand, kept alive only by loyal Italian customers who buy the Ypsilon as an affordable city car. Unless Stellantis delivers something revolutionary, Lancia's days are numbered. Fisker is a name that already failed once. The original Fisker Karma was a plug-in hybrid luxury car that launched in 2011 and collapsed soon after due to financial troubles. Now, Fisker is back with the all-electric Ocean SUV, and while it's stylish and environmentally friendly, the company is once again struggling with production delays, financial issues, and competition from much larger EV players. Startups burn through cash quickly, and unless Fisker can deliver cars in large numbers and keep them reliable, it risks going bankrupt all over again. Investors are watching closely, and the clock is ticking. Lucid entered the EV market with a bang, launching the Air sedan, which boasts incredible range, luxury, and technology. On paper, it's one of the best EVs in the world. But here's the problem. Very few people can afford one. With prices starting over $80,000 and going well past $100,000, Lucid is competing with Tesla, Mercedes, and Porsche in a brutal luxury market. Despite rave reviews, sales numbers are underwhelming, and the company is burning cash at an alarming rate. Backed by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Lucid has powerful investors, but even that might not be enough if demand doesn't rise. Without a cheaper, mass-market model, Lucid could follow the same path as other EV startups: hype, promise, and then collapse. Faraday Future has been the punchline of the EV industry for years. Founded in 2014 with big promises of a revolutionary electric car, the FF91. The company has spent nearly a decade hyping prototypes, but delivering almost nothing. Financial troubles, lawsuits, and executive shakeups have plagued its journey. In 2023, Faraday finally delivered a handful of FF91s to customers, but at a price tag of over $200,000, it's hard to imagine real demand. Most people see Faraday as a zombie company, kept alive by investors chasing the next Tesla. Unless a miracle happens, Faraday Future will likely be remembered as one of the biggest flops in EV history. Finally, let's talk about Saab, a brand that technically already died, but serves as a cautionary tale. Saab was once beloved for its quirky, safe, and innovative cars, but years of financial struggles and mismanagement led to bankruptcy in 2011. The assets were bought by a Chinese company called NEVS, which tried to revive the brand with EVS, but that too has now failed. Saab shows us exactly what can happen when a car brand doesn't adapt fast enough to changing times. Even brands with loyal fans can disappear. And the truth is, some of the companies on this list are walking down the same path Saab did a decade ago. Which of these companies do you think will survive? And which are destined for the history books? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more videos here on Car Roast.